Alright, welcome to the first episode of Abnormal TV. Real sports analysis. I know no biased bullshit that you don't get everywhere else. This is like the smartest, most on point analysis you ever gonna find anywhere. Because if there's one thing I know, it's sports. Basketball in particular. So let's start out with our 2012-2013 NBA preview. Because the NBA don't really believe in parity, we just gonna go through the main teams that matter. And me being a Pistons fan, I know they're shit this year, but we still gonna cover them because they matter to me. So, um, starting with the Pistons, we'll name the teams, and I just tell you either I say a little bit about them or I just say they don't matter, so we'll skip them. Charlotte Bobcats. I am intrigued by MKG. I like him, um, but I don't think the Heat's going to amount to anything other than maybe Luol Deng type player at best, because he's a good hustler and he works hard and all that good shit. But as far as being a superstar or something like that, I just don't see it happening. The Orlando Magic, not worth talking about. Their leader is Aaron Aflalo, well, Jameer Nelson, if you want to be technical about it. He's been there the longest, so they don't really matter. The Detroit Pistons, like I said, that's my team. They matter. We won't win shit this year, but we got a pretty decent foundation with Greg Monroe and um, Brandon Knight, along with the potential lottery ticket we got in Andre Drummond. He could be Dwight Howard. He could be Darko. You never know. To me, he looks kind of goofy, and that kind of turns me off. He look like a fucking idiot out there, somebody that's um, like a Purvis Ellison in the making. But he played for the Pistons, so I'm gonna hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Um, I'm disgusted with this team because we just keep treading in the wrong direction, which is the direction of mediocrity with um, Rodney Stuckey and Tayshaun Prince still being in our starting lineup, taking up space. Yeah, they're not getting paid a lot, but we could really use some better talent there at those two positions, especially small forward when we're in a conference with players like Melo, LeBron, and you know Danny Granger, people like that. Danny Granger is actually in our division. Um, Washington Wizards don't matter. I'm not a big fan of Bradley Beal. Um, Cleveland don't matter. Fuck them. I like Tristan Thompson though. I think he's gonna be like a double double type dude this year. Toronto really don't matter at all. Although they do have a player that I wish we would have got in the draft, which is Quincy Ace. That dude is a fucking beast. Man. Um, the Milwaukee Bucks don't matter. Brooklyn Nets don't matter. They're moving to Brooklyn, but it's still the fucking New Jersey Nets. They didn't. They added Joe Johnson, a fucking career under. Well, he's a decent two guard, but he didn't do anything with Al Horford and Josh Smith around him. I don't think he'll do anything with Brooke Lopez and Darren Williams either. The Atlanta Hawks, Josh Smith, Al Horford, yada yada yada. I see a first round exit, maybe second round, but not too much of a threat. Um, Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks. Now this is where it gets intriguing. If Stoudemire is injured long enough, they might be able to do something because Stoudemire doesn't fit in well with this team. Um, the ball stops for him, and you can't have another player like that when you got Carmelo Anthony on your team. So I see good things happening for the New York Knicks if Amari can stay out. I like Mike Wilson as the coach, but yeah, they might have a chance to go to the second round and make a good series out of whoever they play against in the second round. Um, the Chicago Bulls, no Derrick Rose, they're fucking shitty. Um, the Indiana Pacers, I think they're like the new Utah Jazz. They're just gonna be like a good team that pretty decent team that just don't have any shot at all of winning anything. The Boston Celtics, they're old. They're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna play in good playoff series. They're gonna fight hard. They're gonna work hard. That's just their nature. But no chance in hell of them going to the finals. And the Miami Heat, number one team in the NBA, they are anchored by the best player in the NBA. In my opinion, the second best player of all time, LeBron James. Um, and there's really nobody that really can come close to stopping them. Um, I hate to say that because I'm a Pistons fan and he tortured the Pistons back in the mid 2000s, but just reality can't stop him. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He rebounds, so defends every fucking position, scores. He got a goddamn scoring title in his career. Um, an MVP. So I mean, the Miami Heat is who you have coming out of the East and winning the whole thing. So who is going to play the sacrificial lamb to the Miami Heat from the Western Conference? Let's start with the New Orleans Hornets. They got the number one pick, Anthony Davis. I think he's going to be decent. I don't think he's going to be what everybody made him out to be. Being that his offense is very limited. I think he'll be a good player though, but I don't see him saving the franchise. Phoenix, they're led by Michael Beasley. Sacramento, DeMarcus Cousins, I like him, but he's the new Rasheed Wallace. I think he could be a good piece of a good puzzle, but his attitude is going to fuck him up this year. I don't see anything happening for him. The Houston Rockets recently acquired James Harden. I think they're going to be a good seventh or eighth seed team, and James Harden will get his, and he's the man now, and he's pretty talented, but he's very streaky. So you'll see some 40-point nights, and you'll see some 10 to 15-point nights from him. Either way, they have a shit point guard who probably will be exposed as the goddamn journeyman that he's meant to be, and they will not be a threat to anyone. Um, Golden State Warriors, no point even mentioning them. Portland, same old deal. Always got talent. Marcus Aldridge, Wes Matthews, Damian Lillard. I love him. He's kind of like Russell Westbrook light. Um, he's going to shoot a lot and probably be exciting at the expense of actually winning. Um, who we got next? Utah. No, no need to waste my time. Minnesota, no need to waste time. So Dallas, they're old and injured. No need to waste time on them. Denver, it's pretty intriguing. I like George Karl. He's gonna have them. They're like the new. They're more like the new version of Utah, like that Stockton and Malone team that was always good and always like in the playoffs and always a threat, but you just knew they had absolutely no fucking chance of winning it. That is your Denver Nuggets team. They're gonna be tough to beat, but they will be beat. Um, the LA Clippers, who I feel is the best team in the West, but they are the Clippers, and I think that's going to hold them back. I think they're cursed, kind of like the Lions are in basketball and football. But they're led by Chris Paul and the backcourt of Chris Paul and Jamal Crawford. Even though Crawford comes off the bench, we still know that that's their backcourt. That is a deadly fucking combination. Crawford just had 29 in the first game off the bench. He is a fucking beast, man, and I really see good things happening for them until they run into the Thunder in the playoffs. Memphis Grizzlies. Another young, exciting team. Well, not exciting, but another young, good team. They got Rudy Gay, who doesn't play any defense, but he's a pretty good player. So they should be good enough to make a little noise in the playoffs, but no chance of winning championships or contending for a championship. But I mean, they'll be in the playoffs and they'll provide some good competition in the playoffs. The San Antonio Spurs, they might fuck around and win 82 games, but once they get to the playoffs, they will be old once again, and they will fuck up and lose. For lack of a better word, because my little co-host Devin, he's coming in right now. He just woke up from a nap. Hey Devin, I'm doing the show. Want to join me? Um, number two, LA, led by Kobe Bryant. LA Lakers. This team, this is gonna be my favorite team this year because they're gonna make me look so right. Because all year long, I mean all off season, I've been waiting to be able to bash the Lakers. I hate the fucking Lakers. I hate them. I do. I hate them with a passion. But they're gonna be my favorite team because they're gonna prove me right by sucking. They can't play any defense. Dwight Howard um, brings their free throw percentage down to abysmal levels. So you got the hack a shack strategy back in play for them. The Princeton offense is going to be a disaster when you have a what three people in the lineup that cannot pass at all. And Steve Nash, who is horrible in the half court. And only saving grace is Paul Gasol. He can't play with another big man. When Andrew Bynum was in the game, his production went down. So this is a disaster waiting to happen. Not to mention that they have probably one of the worst coaches of all time in Mike Brown, and absolutely no bench whatsoever. Unless they make a good trade, this season is gonna be a fucking catastrophe. Sorry for cussing. He's there now, so I can't cuss anymore. Um, and the number one team out the West, Oklahoma City Thunder. Real quick about them, they just made a big trade, traded for James Harden. They traded James Harden away for Kevin Martin. But I think that Kevin Martin is a potential 20 to 25 point per game scorer. And when you get that as your third option, I mean, he's not going to average 25 because he's not going to get that many attempts, but he will be a viable option, a viable third scoring option, and that's what you need. However, I don't think that they'll win. They don't have a chance of winning the championship because of their point guard, who doesn't know that he's not the man. Kevin Durant is the man on that team, and Russell Westbrook just didn't get the memo. So while they're good enough on talent alone to get to the finals, it'll probably be a 4 or 5 game series again, and they'll go down to the Heat. So there's my NBA preview. If you still watching it, then I must have did a good job. Um, I'm gonna have more videos on here where I'm going more in depth with other issues. But that's what I think about the NBA upcoming season. Miami easily taking it, barring any injuries. They're by far and away the best team in the NBA, the best team that the NBA has seen since the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, um, that era. So, hate them, love them, that's just the reality of it. They are the best team. They're in the middle. They finally learn how to play together, and it's curtains for everybody else. Hopefully, my team, the Pistons, can do something to become a contender again. But until then, I'm gonna just sit back and watch the rest of the league operate. So, till next time, I'll see you. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. Okay. Peace out. Peace, love, and hair grease. And so.